And if I talk about the goal, then our goal is to build a fast, scalable, and developer-friendly ecosystem where businesses, developers, and users can build real-world Web3 applications easily. So scalability and real-world usability. So these are the two major problems that we are facing these days. MST was designed to create a balance between speed, decentralization, and practical adoption. So if we talk about the long-term vision, then I would say that we want to make it very easier for Web2 people to onboard to our blockchain, even for industrial use case. So this is the long-term vision for the project. So what makes us unique in the combination from other blockchains, right? So the thing is, we have several USPs. Let's say if I start, then it's a combination of high performance, strong user metrics, and the real world ecosystem products that we have. So we already have almost 68,000 plus validators and 160,000 on-chain wallet addresses, 300,000 plus registered users, and we are still building. Not just a chain, but a full ecosystem, including wallets, payment gateways, decentralized exchange, and developer infrastructure. So basically, we are also helping other developers who are building in this space. And if they want to get help from our development side, then we would be more than happy to provide them our infrastructure to build their decentralized applications. So whenever we talk about community, it's everything for any project. So community is the thing that makes the project. So it's one of the most important pillars of MST as well. So our validator participation model and ecosystem growth are heavily community driven. So the growth to 160K plus wallets and 68K plus validators, like the 68,000 plus validators that I've already mentioned above. So it shows how strong the community believes in the project. So this is the trust that we have earned in the crypto industry.
Thank you so much about that. I'm having a little bit more questions for Mr. Proctor. Maybe a few technical ones, but I think worth it for the community to understand the whole project. And then, here comes my question. How is it, at least for Ethereum, how is it is for developers to migrate to MST if they're on Ethereum?
Yeah, yeah. So I'll take this one. So what we have done is we have made our chain EVM compatible. So anyone, like whenever you learn blockchain, you try to build on Ethereum, everyone starts with EVM chains only, majorly on Ethereum. So what we did, we wanted to make our blockchain as simple as one can create it. So we made it EVM compatible. Any EVM chain like Ethereum, BSC, Binance, Base, and Polygon, any other chain that are same as this EVM compatible can be used, like the smart contracts which are deployed on EVM compatible chains can be easily migrated to here. You just need to change the chain you are deploying to. Like first you were deploying to Ethereum, the same contract, you take the same contract over here to MST and deploy it to MST, and remix the one which we use to deploy the contracts on chain. So all the tech stack, all the language, solidity, all the infrastructure you have already on Ethereum works here, same as there it can be. If a node which we are going to make decentralized can't have more participants than the was one that actually have the money for. So what we did is we divided our node into 70,000 fractions. What fractions represent here? Fraction represent an ownership inside the node that is running our blockchain. So as Ritik said, we have 21 nodes. So we divided them into 70,000 fractions so that each one of them which do not have the budget, we do not have the money to buy the whole node, can easily buy a fraction in just as minimum as 2700 Indian rupees and 29 USD dollars. Imagine, for like if you wanted to buy a node, you had to buy a computer, you had to buy a GPU, you had to buy, like you had to upgrade your GPU to that level so that it can run that node like requirements. So here you do not need any computation, we do not need your computation, we just need you to participate into our blockchain, be a fraction owner with just minimum, very minimum requirements as 29 USD that I said before. So like using this, you are a part of the blockchain, you are making our blockchain decentralized, and Apart from that, you are also earning rotates around a week. We provide the validators rewards in the form of our own token, which is MSTC. So you are an investor. So just you are not just a validator. You are not just a owner. You are an investor. You are getting a return from the investment you made on our blockchain. So it is as simple and as budget friendly as it can be.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Prokor. And that's already another plus, right, that MST is having. So, MST blockchain has introduced several protocol to simplify the Web3 onboarding, right? So,
Yeah.
can you please explain what Serial is and how it improves the user experience? Thank you.
Yeah. What we found was a major problem in blockchain is onboarding users. So every other blockchain do, they focus on the ones that we already have. For example, supply chain and payments and decentralized finance, identity systems and enterprise integrations, the same that other blockchains have, we also have the ones like fully integrated onto us. But what we are focusing more on are RWAs, real world assets. As I talked earlier, we are creating Saran protocol. So Saran protocol is majorly for tokenization of assets which are based in real life. For example, real estate and the ones the objects that you use in everyday life. So what we are looking into is tokenizing of real world assets, so that the use case of our blockchain widens and widening in such a way that they are actually applicable onto your real life. Like, you do not feel like this blockchain or this MST is very far different from what we do in our daily 24 hours, right? So our goal is to build blockchain solutions that businesses, individuals and governments can actually use. So what we are doing is we are advancing our blockchain as secure as we can. So what we have is efficient consensus design, optimized block propagation, and a controlled validator set rotation mechanism. So what does this controlled validator set rotation mechanism mean is we are running it onto a loop where every validator has a chance to mint the blocks on the blockchain, contribute to the blockchain. So this eventually allows us to have a high throughput while keeping the network synchronization stable and secure.
MST also supports the WASM through the WASMify protocol. What does this enable when it comes to functionalities?
Yeah, so as we said earlier, our blockchain is EVM friendly. So EVM there is Solana, which is used to develop smart contracts. So we wanted to onboard as much developers as we can. So WASM or WASM supposed to write smart contracts using multiple programming languages such as Rust. If someone wants to create a highly secure smart contract, so they would rather use Rust instead of Solidity. And users can use C++ also, and any other more backend languages that there exist to create smart contracts. So this enables us for expanding the developer ecosystem beyond Solidity, and I'm making our blockchain development more accessible, like more eco-friendly than it is already.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pafar. So I have a few questions for Mr. Riddick as well before we actually conclude the AMA. The MST blockchain is building a full ecosystem, like you guys have explained. I mean, the wallets, the whole payment gateways, the DEXs, and even more. So can you give us a quick overview in each of them? Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So whenever we talk about ecosystem, we talk about so many things. So it's all like diving into the deep water. So MST is building a complete Web3 ecosystem, including, I can name some of them, like the things that we have that we are working on. So first we have Bridge Key. So it's our own native wallet for seamless onboarding for users. So we are making onboarding easier for Web2 users so that they can just download the application and can start uh, like using the wallet and can buy crypto, can transfer the crypto. They can use it on an easier side. And the second is we have MST AI Buddy. It's moreover like an AI powered support where you can learn about MST blockchain by asking questions. It has three categories, like the beginner category, the second is the intermediate, third one is the expert. So if you are an expert, you can ask expert level questions. If you are a beginner, you can ask beginner level question. If you are intermediate, then you can ask intermediate level questions. So it depends on your expertise, on your knowledge. So, and the third one is there is a stable coin, USDC.E, which is deployed on our chain for payments and DeFi solutions. One is MST Dex for decentralized trading. It's currently in build stage, so we are still building this one. And we also have our own payment gateway. We want to accept payments in crypto. Then you can just integrate our payment gateway solution and can accept the payment from your customers in crypto. So it's that much easier for you to get payments in crypto. And we and on the later stage, like we have our own academy known as MST Academy, through which we are partnering with universities and other colleges, tier one colleges, to teach their students about blockchain and introducing certification courses as well for them, so that they can continue their research in blockchain. So this is the whole ecosystem that we are building, and this is just a small part of the ecosystem. And we are just taking the ecosystem to that much level. So this is our vision for the ecosystem as well. So the idea is to provide all the tools and knowledge needed to build and scale Web3 applications. So this is the thing.
I love to you guys to participate in building our blockchain. The sole goal of blockchain is to be decentralized. Until we want as much as developers onboarded on our ecosystem as we can. Like personally, as I want our developers to be onboarded. Like developers are the one that built the blockchain, right? So yeah, in the help in the end, to be decentralized, everyone has to contribute to the ecosystem for all of us to grow. Not just MST blockchain, or not just the blockchain ecosystem. Like everybody. I think that wraps up what we are building and what we have built or what we will be building on MST blockchain.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mrs. for calling me so Ritik. Like I've mentioned before, we've gone through the NFTs that you made. It was a really nice and interesting project to see today. From all the things that we see in crypto every day, but yours is having a really big ecosystem. There's a lot of things happening inside of it. And most importantly, please, everyone, don't forget to follow them within all their socials so you can check out what happens with an MST.